Sometimes your roof takes a pounding from the elements, but don't expect your insurance company to just lay back and take it. Let's talk about how to protect your top. Today we're here with Luke Jacks from Castle Crest Roofing. Thanks for being here, Luke.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So this episode, we're going to talk about roofing and insurance.
That, I would say, probably the biggest topic ever, right? Especially living in Denver, Colorado, where we're in a high hail zone.
Yeah, and in real estate, I mean, this whole thing about insurance first all alone and roofs, like those are some of the biggest two deal breakers in real estate right now.
What is it that you see that's the deal breaker?
Well, there's a lot of insurance carriers that do not want to write a new policy if a roof is over 10 years old. So that's one problem, right? And then there's a ton of insurance issues with condos and townhouses. We'll just skip over all of that. But, insurance companies now have made it standard to come out. I don't think they used to do this as much, but after you close, they have 30 days to come out, walk the property. And I just found out they can actually pull the insurance policy and say, never mind or they can force you to do repairs. So you get through the whole closing process, you close on your home, and then the insurance person comes out, walks the property and goes, if you want to keep this policy, you need to do XYZ within 30 days. It's nuts.
Yeah, that's intense. I mean, before we dive into that, I would just say homeowner, buyer, seller, right? You can roll that roof replacement. You can give it an allowance from the buyer or the seller, right? Let's just say if I'm the buyer, I'd be like, Kiki, I want you to tell this guy to give me $7,000 towards the new roof. Mm-hmm. And then this deal is going to go through. 9 times out of 10, they go for it, right? Because the house has been sitting on the market. They want to make the sale. Maybe it's in contingency to just sell that to get the new home or whatever. There's always a workaround on an older roof and not having to come out solely 100% out of pocket from the buyer or the seller. It could be a shared expense just to get the deal done. That's something I've done in the past.
That's true. That's true, but also I've been involved in deals where the appraiser came out and said, you're not closing until there's a new roof on this thing. And it holds up all of closing.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't happen very often, thank goodness, but it can happen. Yeah.
It does. I mean, I think it happens a lot more than we think, right? Just in certain circumstances. Mm-hmm. As far as let's just say if you have a 10-year-old roof, man, find someone to come inspect your roof to get it underneath a hail claim through your insurance. It can be 2 years back a hailstorm damaged your roof, and you can still claim it and still get an insurance claim out of it. So obviously, again, I'm going to say this, I'm a sticker on it. Do your due diligence, right? Just don't be the oblivious homeowner or the buyer or seller. Figure it out. There's always a workaround on everything. Mm-hmm. If you're in the home and it's your home, your home forever, or your home for the next 10 years, obviously who's your insurance carrier? How long have you been with them? Find out if you're an ACV, RCV policy, specific things like that. I mean, how old is the roof? When's the last time it got inspected? Because it's like your car. If you service your car is going to work for you. If you don't service your roof, the roof is not going to work for you.
Women are the same way.
Take it from the expert. Absolutely.
I couldn't help it. How easy or difficult is it to get a roof inspected and certified? Because I know that used to be something in real estate. We would have furnaces inspected and certified, and almost no one will certify a furnace anymore. Is that something that can still be done with roofs?
I think you don't get the certification from the furnace because there's a lot more liability, right? It's an older furnace. Maybe it has leaks inside. There's holes burning out in the unit where CO2 can come out. So there's a bigger liability.
Okay.
As far as a roof, I mean, I'm surprised you're not working with a local contractor already who's going to be like, Luke, or somebody, hey, I got this house. Can you go inspect the roof for me? that was something that you as a real estate agent / brokers or anybody in this profession should have come in and do a roof certification. You know what I mean? Some contractors will do it for free just to gain the relationship from the brokerage or the real estate agent. Myself, depending if you want a roof certification because it's in contingency of a sale, then I will charge for it. But if it's just a home, you're just not sure and you just need some information on it, yeah, myself or many other contractors will do that. And you can get a certification. And they inspect the roof, they check it, they give you an estimated lifespan of the roof. And it's not anything holding liable to the contractor or anything. We're just saying we're on the roof. We inspected the details. We inspected your pipe vents. We inspected your flashings. We inspected everything in that area on your roof. And yes, you get a passing grade.
So what I hear you saying is, inspections are easy, obviously, and it's not difficult to find a roofer who, upon passing inspection, will provide a certificate or certification.
Some roofers want money up front, right? A lot of roofing companies, in my past, have been operations for companies, and we do lunch and learns for real estate groups. And that way, and we build a relationship that way. And you're like, I got 3 homes that need roof inspections. Well, we get out of 3 homes, one of them needs a new roof. Well, guess who gets the roof? The guy inspecting the roof. So that's how that works. Get your home inspected. If you have been in your home, you haven't had any hail or you had any hail, honestly, just call a company to come out and check it out, give you a roof grade, get photo documentation, things like that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's bring this back to the insurance because we were talking about that you have up to 2 years and this probably depends on the insurance carrier because they might not all be 2 years, but you may have up to 2 years to file a hail claim. And I think that you guys have access. I know the insurance companies have access to some system where you can put in the address and it'll tell you if there was hail at that address anytime in the past, whatever. So that's kind of a first, if there's roof problems, that's one of the first things that I do is is it possible that maybe we could do an insurance claim? Like, let's see, was there any hail at this address? Right. And the sad answer lately for me has been no, there was no hail there. Sorry.
Well, Hail Trace is a platform that a lot of roofing companies use, and it gives us a hail swab of what's going on or where storms have hit, and we can go back 1 to 2 years. Let's just say we found 1 year back, we had 1-inch hail, which is detrimental to a roof. And then we can, okay, well, you were hit by hail here. Let's call your insurance company and start a claim. They'll come out, send their inspector to see if there's even hail or evidence of any hail that's going to cause the claim to move forward. Or they're like, nope, there's not enough hail hits. A lot of times roofing contractors will work with that insurance inspector and we're their best friends, right? Well, I don't tell them how to do their job. Their job is their job. I just tell them they got nice boots, like how their day's going. What do you think of the weather? Things like that. It makes them feel better about doing the inspection. And a lot of times that's where you get your insurance claim bought.
That's what I do with appraisers.
It works.
Go to the appraisal and I just smile real pretty. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, the smiling real pretty on the roof kind of takes them off guard for me, since I'm, a bigger, brownish guy. So, yeah.
All right, fact or fiction? Homeowners insurance always covers roof damage.
It's, it is in the insurance policy for your roof. Wind and hail.
Wind and hail.
Wind and hail, yes. Or obviously act of God where a tree branch falls through your roof. Yes, that is a coverage that the insurance offers.
Yeah, so the stuff the insurance will not cover is wear and tear and poor maintenance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's
what would that look like? What would
an older roof. So basically an older roof let's say there was a hailstorm on my property. And I knew it got damaged, but I didn't do nothing with it. And then the next time, in let's say 5 years goes by. Well, now they're looking at the hailstorm, and then they're looking at the age of the roof. And then now they're going to be like, well, your roof is 10 years old, so let's depreciate it a ton, like tens of thousands of dollars. Degranulation. So let's just say we have a pretty heavy rainstorm. and you go outside and you see all these granules, you'd think it looks like sand coming out of your downspouts. Well, that means your roof, the granules are they're degranulating and coming off your shingle. So that should be a red flag. Like, maybe I should get this looked at. It's not, it's normal to have a little bit, but it's not normal to have a lot of that happening.
Yeah.
As far as maintenance, again, just have a contractor come out and take a look at your roof. Like, is there anything that we need to do? Like, I'm not looking for a new roof because I'm not there for it yet, but what can I do to make my roof work for me?
Mm-hmm. All right, I've got a myth here. I think it's a myth. I guess you'll be the judge of that. The first call after storm damage, if there's been a storm and I think there's damage to my roof, my first call should be to my insurance agent.
Unfortunately, how do you know that your roof got damaged? How do you know you need to call your insurance agent?
I saw hail outside, so there's probably damage to my roof because there's big pieces of hail outside.
Well, I would say call a trusted roofing contractor so they can inspect the roof before you call your insurance claim. The last thing insurance companies want is us wasting their time and calling in claims, right? You could have an inch of hail on the ground, but only pea size, and it could be soft, so technically it wouldn't damage your roof. Now, if you go out there and you see an orange-sized piece of hail, or golf ball size, or softball size, or baseball size, yes, start your insurance claim. Get a hold of your insurance broker. Be like, hey, I need to start this claim. Like, don't even call your insurance. Call your broker, the person who set you up with the policy, because then they're going to give you a list of 3 names. And they're going to say, here's the roofers I work with and I'm referring you to. Mm-hmm. They'll never tell you which one's best, but they will always go 1, 2, 3. And that's how the order goes.
Interesting. This is a little insurance secret, that if you call your insurance before you call the roofer and you end up not needing to file a claim, that actually can still show up on your insurance history and it can count against you, which is a crazy thing, but it's a fact.
Well, when you call your insurance, say, I just want a pre-inspection because I'm not sure if there is damage. Mm-hmm. Okay, no problem. They come out. It doesn't go against you. Now, if you call them out saying, I got hail damage and there's no damage, then
what I'm saying is that there are companies where anybody who's answering the phone and taking the call, even if there's no claim necessary, no claim needed, as soon as they made their little notes in the system, it's a $0 claim, but it still is in their system, and it can sometimes hurt you.
It does, actually. I've heard of it happen a lot of times. And I've been with my State Farm, my insurance broker. I've been with her, my agent, for I think 17 years. Mm-hmm. And she said, word for word, call for a pre-inspection. You're not sure that there's damage, but you want to make sure there isn't because you want to know if you need to make a claim. Mm-hmm. They don't open the claim. They don't do anything. They just send their inspector out. He looks at your roof, says, you know what, you did good. Thanks for calling us out here. There's no damage, or there is damage. So that verbiage in that direction doesn't hit your insurance as a claim, even though $0.
Well, and part of what we were talking about too was that if you call the roofer first, a trusted roofer first, then the roofer knows what's going on up there. Let's say there's damage. Then you guys actually are going to be working with the insurance adjuster and handling all the details and convincing them of what damage there is and all of that, and trying to get, the most
bang for your buck.
Yeah, most bang for your buck.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where I think we touched on this before. It's like when I'm walking a roof with a insurance adjuster, I am, again, his best friend. I ask him, do you want me to set a ladder? Do you mind if I climb up your ladder? Very professional, right? I just let him walk around and do his job. And if I see something that looks like hail, I'm like, hey, you know what? I like to learn every day. Is this what hail looks like? And he'll take a look. Yeah, matter of fact, it is. And then he circles it. And I'm not telling him how to do his job. I'm just asking questions because I want to be better at my job. And then he'll be like, oh, no, that's not. Or, oh, yes, this is. And then 9 times out of 10, you're still getting your claim filed and it's getting covered by insurance.
So now I know that you're not an insurance professional. Obviously, you're the roofer. But do you have some ideas, some experiences of some common reasons that people's claims would get denied?
As far yeah, you sometimes, an experience I've had just recently, we had an adjuster. He was new, and we knew he was new because he was uncomfortable walking around on the roof.
Oh,
So, and you could tell if you're not comfortable walking around the roof, then how are you gonna inspect the roof? And he's like, "No, there's no hail." Well, we had a call for a readjust. They sent out, and the reason being is like we just wasn't sure he wasn't comfortable walking the roof. Nothing gets him or him doing his job. And they sent out a season adjuster. Caroline's like, "Yes, there's hail." So it it's all depending on the adjuster. There's let's just say you thought you had hail, but matter of fact, you just have wear and tear, weathering, deterioration, degranulation, because your roof was older and you never had a new roof put on. Um, there's not enough hail hits, and so they do for I think it's like between 5 to 11 hail hits and a 10 by 10 square.
mhm.
That's how much hail we need to find on the roof with specific insurance companies.
Yeah. So if they don't find that many divots in that area, then the claim could get denied.
Well, at the same time, though, you check your city has a code, a one hit code or a wind damage code. Then it has to be handled. It has to be a claim. So there's a lot of things that go in the factoring of that, and a lot of trusted roofing companies will know that city, know the jurisdiction, know the rules about one hit per square, one hit per face. It gets you a whole new roof. I mean, on a metal roof, doesn't matter. You get one hit, the whole roof is toast.
Well, and we talked earlier, we sort of briefly touched on this thing about how with some companies you could go back up to 2 years to file a claim. So your claim could be denied if you wait too long to report it. Um, and I think that's a good reason to call and, like you said, have somebody out and take a look at it after every storm, because we're not sure.
Right.
There's no way to know.
And I'll tell you that what makes you sure about your hail being damaged is look out the door, and if there's 15 or 20 trucks parked in your neighborhood from 10 different companies, you're going to know that there's hail in that area.
Okay, so I think the last question for this, roofs and insurance episode is, do you have any tips for choosing a roofer? Is it different to choose a roofer handling an insurance claim versus if you just have an old roof that's worn and torn and you want a new one? Are there any differences there for who you would look for or how you would find the right person?
Well, if it's an insurance claim, and let's just say I'm tired of all these door knockers or people who came through as a hailstorm, I don't know who to trust. I would call my insurance agent and be like, "Hey, what's the roofing companies most of your clients are working with?" Then they're going to give you a trusted list. Most companies are geared up to handle insurance. That's how a lot of roofing contractors make substantially good money, is by doing insurance claims, because there's a supplement process which adds more valuation to that insurance claim, and that's payable to the contractor.
You mentioned that earlier, and I didn't know about that. Will you talk some more about this whole supplement thing or subsidizing or what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, talk us through, because I didn't realize that that insurance claims are where roofers are sometimes making the most money.
That is. And like I said, we're working for the insurance money. So it's technically, really, it's not the homeowner's money, because you pay into this to have insurance coverage. They give you this percentage money back to fix your home to stay covered. So I was sitting down with my broker, my agent. We were talking about it, and she said that the deductibles have went from a 0.5% to a 1% to up to a 1.5% for a deductible.
Well, that's probably at State Farm, because there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of carriers that are now doing a 2% deductible for wind and hail.
Yep, I was grandfathered in at a 0.5%. And then they told me I was jumped up to 1%. So now I'm at $11,000 deductible. That's 3/4 of a roof right there. As far as that, I was talking to her, and she was telling me that that she is tired of roofing contractors over supplementing these insurance claims.
But what does that mean?
That means, let's say that you have a hail claim, you have some window damage, right? You have 3 or 4 windows that are damaged. Well, a window, roughly, if you get it at cost, it's always a third of the price of what they're trying to sell it back to you for. So over supplementing means you have let's just say your insurance claim was $18,000 with your part of the deductible makes it 20 grand or, somewhere around those lines. So with that roofing contractor is going to take this insurance claim. He's going to put it in the same system that the insurance uses called Xactimate. And they're going to put it in there and they're going to beef this up by another 40%. So now they're going to increase this $20,000 roof insurance claim into a $30,000 or $35,000 insurance claim.
But how are they doing that? Are they doing that by adding additional work or just by inflating
city code
the prices?
city code upgrades, market value rate? Because a lot of times the insurance claim, a lot of times they give it to you straight across, and it's like, oh wow, they're actually paying good money to replace your roof. A lot of times they give it to you at the lowest market value rate, or not. They're using Nebraska's retail cost, but it changes in Denver, right? So like our inflation in that, oh well, a piece of drip edge, it's like $17 a piece, and that's a 10-foot thick, and then you need it for your roof. And their insurance is only paying $8. So you supplement that line item. And that's how you keep adding monies to that contract, is by going through line item for line item and making sure that they're paying what it really costs to replace it.
And so this is part of the roofer's job, right? Is to go through what insurance is paying and then to make sure, or to see if there's things that need to be added. And then, of course, there's roofers that would go in and add things that don't necessarily need to be added.
Or they add too much monies to it, and then the insurance agent's like, well, give me photos, give me documentation of why this is going to cost $800 more per window when we've already paid you $1,200 or $1,300, right? So that's called over supplementing. My thing is this. If I have an insurance, I'm working with you with an insurance claim, I'm going to supplement it in a way that to get the job done per city code and what needs to be switched out or supplemented. I don't care about adding your screens. I don't care about adding your broken garden gnome or anything like that. I'm going to tell you, you know what? Your screens, they're damaged. There's 6 of them. The cost is $300. I'm going to deduct that. That's back to you. You fix your own screens. You know what I mean? It's just because, and I don't need you, because I mean, they're paying $800 for screen replacements nowadays through insurance claims. So that's the thing, is like, that's what's driving the market, right? Is if we over supplement and we continue to do this, it's just driving our insurance is going up because of how roofers are handling these claims. Mm-hmm. And it works against you.
And let's talk about the deductibles a little bit, because you should explain it, not me, because there's something that happens that can be illegal. Like there's
put me on the hook. Yes, I love it.
No, it's something like, a roofer who says that you don't need to contribute your part of the deductible, or like they'll cover it or something. I can't remember.
Saying we'll cover your deductible, right? I think roofing companies, there's roofers out there that say that. What was it? I think I read in your footnotes, it was a myth or fact on it, or a scam, right? Covering your insurance deductible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, by law, we cannot cover your insurance deductible because that's illegal. It's fraudulent. That's insurance fraud.
So when you replace a roof under an insurance claim, are you also collecting the amount of the deductible from the homeowner?
Works. So when an insurance claim, you get your check up front, right? Let's say your claim is $18,000. They gave you, that's including your deductible. And then, so they give you, let's just say they give you $10,000. Well, we still collect the $2,000 or whatever that valuation is for your deductible on top of the $10,000. And then we roof your roof, and then we get the remainder monies from the claim. Honestly, it's a gray area, super gray area about paying companies, paying your deductible to get the job. That it's not unheard of. It happens all the time. I don't know who's doing it. I know there's contractors out there that do it. But as far as like, your trusted your trusted roofing companies are going to be like, hey, you owe your deduct portion of this roof. The portion that you pay out is your deductible, and that gets included. That monies goes into what it costs to replace your roof. So I've heard of there's ways, and don't mark my words, I'm saying there's workarounds a lot of times that that go into that. I haven't done it, so I don't know. But I mean, I'm sure there's a contractor out there that if you guys want to try and find, he might cover your deductible. But I know that it's fraudulent, and it's something that I don't do.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're filing an insurance claim for your roof, you should plan to pony up the cash, whatever your deductible is. That's how insurance works. You contribute your part of the deductible. So
well, in that case, like let's say your deductible is $10,000. I mean, that's 1% of your home valuation, right?
I mean, not everybody has 10 grand laying around.
Now get a roofing company to see if they'll do a retail bid, get your roof done, get it certified, turn it into your insurance, and now you're still covered. So, I mean, like I said, you can get finance for these things. I mean, and there's some contractors that offer financing for deductibles or offer financing for the roof.
Well, what is the difference between a retail bid and an insurance claim bid?
Because a retail bid just becomes a cash out of pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say you have a roof, it costs $13,000 to re-roof it, and your deductible is $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
It may make more sense to work a retail bid out with the contractor and be like, I would rather pay you cash to get this re-roof because, I mean, honestly, you're already out of pocket 10 grand. So
I see what you're saying. So like if the contractor is willing to come down in their price a little bit, if for you paying them cash, then you could avoid the insurance claim altogether and not have that on your claims history.
absolutely.
Okay, now I get it.
I mean, 10 grand's a lot. It's a heavy hit, right?
It is.
It is. I mean, mine's 11,000. So, I mean, I would just pay to just re-roof my roof. I could do it at cost because I'm a contractor.
Well, yeah, you can do it. Yeah. All right. Okay. So this episode has been all about roofs and insurance. And we've got Luke Jacks here with Castle Crest Roofing and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think I might do that over.
Do your due diligence, get a good insurance broker, help yourself out, and do the homework.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
If you like this content and want to support the channel, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go.